Scorpio, it's Aces week, baby. That's what's up. That's what's going on. This week, everybody is getting an in-depth read wherein we take a look at the aces just in time for the New Year's, yeah? Many of you will recognize the aces layout, and then, of course, our power card right over there in the corner. But before we get started, a promo, if you will, for my site, sassyscorpionmerch.com, linked off in the description box. Site-wide, 20% off everything using code HAPPY20. There you go. Maybe you check it out. Maybe you find something you like. I appreciate you. But yeah, I'm wearing one of our mini house tees. This is just but one style. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. So like I said, maybe you find something for yourself or someone else, but 20% off once more using code HAPPY20. I'm wearing the racerback style for the gym, but I got my jacket over it because it's a little cool today. But yeah, there you go. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. So anyway, just wanted to say thank you all so much for your support over the years. And just to remind you, like always, your purchases as well as your donations help fund this channel and its many functions. So once more, thank you. All right, you guys, let's get started. Aces, they're fun. They're exciting. I know, I feel the same way. The prospect of new is very powerful. That's the idea. But also, keeping that in mind, there are things in our lives we already have in place, and that's where we get the idea of renewed or reinvestment, right? There are some things where we really don't need to reinvent the wheel. So we're going to see stuff that is new. And then we're going to see that stuff that also we keep going because it works for us. But if not, but if it doesn't, if it's not doing its job, maybe we should take a look at that. Maybe we make some changes. Maybe we make some tweaks, or maybe it is time for new. So we're going to start right here with the Ace of Swords. And then, of course, we have the Wand, Cup, and Pentacle. So Ace of Swords, any new thoughts, beliefs, insights, therefore actions, or pre-existing insights, beliefs, and actions. There we go. Let's see that Ace of Swords, please, for Scorpio. Let's see that Ace of Swords, please, for Scorpio. What's up? Oh, the world. You're not trust me, you're not the first person to show me that. Temperance, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, Death. Okay. Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. Wow. Okay, there is something here that you said, I don't need to heal myself towards it anymore. I'm as consolidated as I'm going to get. It's a very strong thought you have, and I'm not laughing at you. It's just the way you presented it was so straightforward, so straight to the point. And then, of course, your power card dropped. So Ace of Swords, this is a strong truth. I see you understanding this truth now, as in now. Okay, right here towards the end of the world. End of the year, December, and it's going to carry over strongly into January. You're saying you have reconciled yourself towards something as much as you humanly can. You've healed yourself to a particular topic as much as you humanly can. It's just, you're saying it's not possible to do any more work. Well, I don't know about that. In my opinion, we're never done learning. But if you're saying there's only so much you can do now, okay, and perhaps you are done with at least the subject for now. Enough to leave something alone. You don't want to think about it. You don't want to have to heal over it anymore. You're saying it's given you all the growth potential it can possibly give you. Okay. So I don't think you're trying to tell me I've learned everything there is to learn. No, that's just not true. But you're saying how you dealt with that subject matter. You're saying you've grown from it as much as you can. It's time to close that chapter in your life. There's something here that you realize just won't grow anymore, and you're tired of trying to figure out how to make it grow. Okay. Death, Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Cups. Yeah, there's something here, frankly, you just don't want to cultivate anymore. You're saying it has nowhere to go. It has nowhere to go in terms of pathway value, emotional value. It's very distinct, and you're saying that you are making plans now as we speak to wrap it up. It's in its final stages. Okay. I think this is going to be one of those cases where you tried to fix something as much as you could for as long as you could. You tried to make it work for you as much as you could as long as you could. You kept trying to make yourself emotionally attached to it. That way you had a reason to try to keep it going, which is a very water thing to do. Okay. But at the end of the day, you're like, this is done. And this is a very distinct thought for the Scorpio I'm looking at. Like I said, it's really non-negotiable, and it's now. It's present with you now. It's almost like you're saying, what I do here in December, maybe going into January, not by much, that's it. These are my final actions and activities around this particular pathway. Because now, in your mind, it's a non-pathway. It's getting closed out, cut off, however you want to do it. I will not go down that road anymore. I will not build myself into this anymore. There's nowhere left to grow. I've consolidated myself towards this. As far as the Scorpio I'm looking at is concerned, it is a case of chapter is closed. So what it is you're closing out, it looks like it has something to do with the 3D world. Something you tried to build yourself into, prosper from, grow from, make yourself secure from, but it wasn't happening. And you told yourself to stay in there as long as you could, to give this time, to give this space. Did I do everything? And your answer was, yeah, I did everything. I checked all the boxes. I fed this thing as much miracle grow as I possibly could. Nothing's happening. Or not enough of something is happening. You're saying you learned a lot, though. I'll give you that. That is the truth. You're saying you learned a lot. I don't think you're saying I've learned everything there is to know about this. I think you're saying I've learned a lot. And I've learned to give this thing up, to close it out. So I see you snipping up those loose ends. Okay. But yeah, it looks like a pathway you cultivated for as long as you humanly could. And you really did try to keep it together. But honey, there was only so much you could do in this. But I will say this, you learned a lot from it. You learned a lot about yourself, particularly patience. It was a big old exercise in that flashing word, patience, patience, patience. It taught you a lot about patience and careful cultivation. Okay. I think you can honestly say this, that you really did the best you could with it. Because it looks so final in your mind, and it looks so final in your spirit. You're like, I am distinctively closing the door on this so I can open up other doors elsewhere. Okay. Very non-negotiable, very Scorpio, very it's done. But also very much true to our spirit. I won't give up on this. I won't do it. You can't make me. Because we're, again, emotionally stubborn. People forget that. We're fixed water. Once we have a fixed emotion, it's the same as saying a core belief. It is really hard for us to just be like, I don't feel that anymore. It's not. So whatever, like I said, this is a very water process. When I developed this, I emotionally invest at the same time, right? So when you start to see a little bit of movement, a little bit of success, you put more emotional investment into it. So we'll keep bringing something together because now we're emotionally attached to something. But this was a big exercise and necessary lessons for you in patience and knowing on your own terms when to close something out thoughtfully and consciously. Again, this is coming across as pathway material, 3D stuff. Okay, could be work. It could be a goal that you had. I don't know. But it taught you a lot. And now let's take a look at some of these other doors then that might be closing. Or, more to the point, opening. Let's take a look at your Ace of Wands. If I have any more questions, I'll get back to it. Perhaps I'll show more advice. But it's extremely distinct. And like I said, you is aware of it now. By the way, because I know us, what's your date? You have a date. I know you have a date. I don't mean like date, like going out on a date. Although if you are, awesome, have a great time. No, I mean, what's your final date of activity for that? When are you cutting it off? I know you. You already have the calendar date picked out. I know. And it will be strategic. It will be a date of significance. I know. Okay. I see your little dear diary, Scorpio. Dear Scorpio, or dear me, this day, January 15th is the last day, blah. I just if you're feeling a little extra spunky, a little extra cheeky, share your date. Because you know what it is. The Scorpio I'm looking at, you know what this is. And if you don't, it's not, don't worry about it. Check your other placements. Or check out your other aces. They may not be related. All right, let's take a look at the Ace of Wands, please. Let's say the Ace of Wands. Any new passions? Okay, new passions. New sources of creativity. inspiration, hope, okay? Or you got plenty of fuel in your tank already. Let's say the Ace of Wands. People have been showing me the coolest, craziest stuff, man. This has been so cool doing in-depths for everybody. Oh, it reminds me why I enjoyed them so much, because they can get so terribly complex, absolutely, but absolutely intriguing. It's tarot, proper tarot. When you go very in-depth with it, it can feel like very much like the mental or emotional or spiritual gymnastics, and people can be terribly unique, okay? Let's see that Ace of Wands, please. Let's see that Ace of Wands. What's vibing with you these days, eh? Let's see that Ace of Wands, please. It does look like a goal. Don't get me wrong, it did its job. Okay? It did its job. But it's a goal that wasn't coming to fruition. Okay. Ace of Wands. I'm glad you're not giving yourself to it anymore, because I agree with you. You could be doing other things. Absolutely. All right. King of Swords, Two of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Lovers. I knew you was going to show me that. I knew before it hit the table. And I said, where is it? Where is it? There it is, the fourth card down. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Pentacles. Huzzah. Good, because I've been seeing the theory of you and a lover for, I don't know, a while. I was starting to get irritated, but now it's in 3D. Yay, progress. Progress, yay. Yeah, that's what you... So for those of you who don't want to hear this, okay, this, or maybe check out your other placements like I recommended, we're going to put some good work into a strong connection, and it's equal. So that's going to be a refreshed ace. Oh, it sparks too. Oh, it sparks. Yeah. Which is fine, because I want to say it was, what was it? Your last Sunday check-in. I'm like, you two was so stubborn. I really didn't know how to call it for some of you. But this one, yeah, I got you in very good appetite, yeah, with someone whom we know. Six of Cups, this is sweet memories of the past, nostalgia. You have a unique relationship with somebody that goes way back. You're very fond of each other. You've had your issues, I'm sure, but the passion's still there. There is that unique undercurrent that still exists between you two. Memories, the exchange, you know. King of Swords, Two of Wands. Don't get me wrong. There's a little roughness in there at first. It gets very straight to the point at first. That it's some very straightforward communication, but the determination to speak with this person and to be clear with your words is 1,000% on point. So it might start out a little edgy, but all you're showing me is that you're choosing your words with care, and that is active communication as well as constructive. So I don't know who generates the activity first. I don't. But it is going back and forth equally. It looks good. You're choosing your words very carefully at first, but it is active. It is active. It's active. And it's over your Ace of Wands, which I think is interesting, because not only did it mentally engage you pretty quickly, it kind of ignited you a little bit with that Ace of Wands. So it definitely, whatever this relationship is, whatever this connection is, it gives you some fuel. It gives you some fuel, honey. And it's like, ooh. That one makes me put my foot on that pedal. Ooh. And so it is, because it's the Lovers. And the Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Pentacles. You know, it's a strong connection. It is. This we know. You know this. You feel it. You're not stupid. You feel it mentally. You feel it spiritually, even emotionally. But some time has passed here with the Wheel of Fortune, and it's looking like these two folks, because we got two here, are really throwing themselves into work. So in this respect, you two might bond very easily over mutual principles such as hard work ethic, respect, responsibility. Perhaps you two have worked together in the past, because the past is mixing up here with the present and then also in the future. So this one's a bit of a tricky category for you. It's catching quite a few elements. Your thought, your physical work activities, your two sense of really intense connectiveness. So I just, I have every reason to believe you two are going to come together over some sort of project. I'm not sure what word I'm supposed to use here. It could literally be work. But it might be used as a bonding or possibly a rebonding element. Okay, you two have common ground. I'm not sure how else to put that. Not only do you go way back, you're familiar with each other's thoughts, dialogues, and work habits. It's reflecting the past and then also a little bit in the future, but it also sparks you up. So I know whatever this is gives you a charge. I know this naturally ignites you. It gives you a sense of hope of working with someone whom you seem to be genuinely connected to, okay, in a very deep way. But it comes out through the surface of, this is good. We're both doing this. We're both benefiting from this. So there's a lot of commonly shared elements in here that you and this person, you actually work together quite well. But you also go way back. All I can tell you is that as deeply energized by this as you were in the past, you will continue to be. And I want to say the present. It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. I keep wanting to get as soon. But also at some point in the future, too. It pushes out a little further than what I'm saying here. So there's good work in there. There's a lot of everything in there. I mean, we experience this connection in several ways. Reality, mental, spiritual, emotional. And then the heat element as well. Well, can't deny that heat, honey. Okay? It's in there. So this connection kind of ticks a lot of your boxes. You know what I'm saying? I'm still me. Sorry. I'm still me. I'm still that peacock, honey. Okay, but no, I have some questions on it in terms of what this actually looks like. Again, you two have a lot of common ground. Shared sense of responsibility, working hard, so on and so forth, but a very deep bond. I don't know why there's a time stretch between you two, but you would know best. Okay? But yeah, no, you recognize it immediately, and the communication starts going pretty fast once it started. It's like you two jump right into it. So you got that Ace of Wands then reignited. That's a reignited flame, I dare say. But a lot of good productive values come from it too. So I'm curious. I have to admit, I'm pretty curious. If I have more time, I'm going to go back and press on that one just a little bit because I'm curious. I'm curious. It's like I said, it hits a lot of notes for you. It hits a lot of notes for you. And Six of Cups and the Lovers. Oh my. Yes, very deep connection, but based in reality. I know you two know each other very well. Like I said, work might have been a common cause or a shared environment once upon a time, and it might still be in some way. I can't see it, though. I'll push on it. I think I'll push on it. Let's take a look, though, in the meantime, at that Ace of Cups. Any new love there? Is it being refreshed? Like what? Like, what's going on? Let's see that Ace of Cups, please. But yeah, it's tricky. Six of Cups, the Lovers, it's like saying the same thing twice. It's just one packs a lot more of a punch because you got the sexual energy tied to it. You've got, just more intimate notes attached to it and stuff like that. All right, anyway. Let's see that Ace of Cups, please. Let's see that Ace of Cups. Let's see that Ace of Cups, please. I don't know what you're kicking to the curb at the start of the year, but you do. And I'm telling you, I see a date. So if you're feeling a little extra, maybe share the date and what it is that you're discontinuing. Dismantling or just letting someone else have it, take it over. I don't know. I will say this, it taught you a great deal, particularly around self-regulation principles of patience. Nasty little word, patience. I know. Let's see that Ace of Cups, please. Page of Pentacles, the King of Swords. There it is again. Tower. What? The Hierophant. The Hermit. Sun. So you weren't expecting this. you weren't expecting this at all. Because you jump right into that conversation like, oh, it's the old times, it's old so and so, and you just jump into it very quickly. Again, the connection speaks for the both of you. It precedes the both of you. That's how fluid it is in the spiritual world and in the emotional world. You both take to it very quickly in the ways that you can't see. The actual dialogue with it in real life, that's where it gets a little rough, as these things are. But yeah, no, the Page of Pentacles, King of Swords, the Tower, there it is again. Page of Pentacles, the Tower. You weren't expecting anything to affect your heart space. Whatever? Like, ever? Like, what? You didn't, that, now, come on now. I don't know. Nothing is ever going to affect my heart. I will not allow any investments to take place there. There's no way anything could ever affect my heart again. Thank you. Come on now. That was the little delusion that we had blow up there. It's look, I get it. We are emotional investors, right? And once we get something out of there, like say a Six of Cups, say a Lovers, and it's, it takes forever. We're famous for that. Why does it take you so long to get over somebody? Well, maybe your emotional investments are cheap. It's kind of like that. It feels like a challenge. People want that really deep emotional attachment until they want us to, quote unquote, get over it too. And then it becomes inconvenient, right? Yeah. And it's inconvenient to us too. It's our biggest con. Our pros are our cons are our pros. I've said it 1,000 times, and it's true for all signs. If you have a superpower, you have a kryptonite. They are a reflection of the same thing. For our biggest pro is also our biggest con. And that means when it takes that long to finally get something out of there, to fall out of love, etc., you're going to go through that period where you don't want anything to affect your heart for a long time because it took you forever to get over so-and-so, etc. Okay? We are aware of our con, and we're aware of our pros, or at least we should be. So some of you might have been so, excuse me, I'm going to use the word delusional, as to think nothing was ever going to affect your heart again, or no one could ever put an investment in there again, or make you want to invest in love again. I understand. It's very tempting to think that, and you might even believe it. And we can go through celibacy periods like you wouldn't believe it. And it just kind of reinforces that belief that we'll never be in love again. Because when we shut down, we shut down. But when we're in love, oh my God. So you might even have tricked yourself into thinking, well, I'll never feel anything again. I'll never talk to them again. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I think you believed it too. I don't blame you. I don't. I get you. I give us a hard time, but I get it. I'm not going to act like I don't. I get it. I do. That doesn't mean we're right, though. Right? And such of our deep emotional convictions, we can actually get ourselves to believe that we're right. Yeah. But it turns out we're wrong. So I hope that didn't hurt you too much. Oh, you mean I'm wrong? What do you mean I'm wrong? Well, it just means you were wrong. We're all wrong. We're all wrong. That's why I said at that opening, I don't really believe you if you tell me that you learned everything from this. It's because we never stop learning. We're never going to really stop feeling. We're never going to stop feeling interest or curiosity and love and hate. We're human beings. I mean, I guess my point is, honey, I know you really didn't expect this to show up, and I'm not saying you're going to fall in love with this again or love it deeply like you once did. I do know, if this helps you, there's a lot of healing power in here, like a lot. It's, the Hierophant, the Hermit, the Sun, that ain't bad. It's pretty warm. It's pretty happy. So I understand it was unexpected. Okay? But that doesn't mean it's bad. So I don't know who this is to you, but it's very warm. It feels secure. It does. And it feels happy. It makes you feel happy, and it makes you feel better about your heart, specifically the Ace of Cups. Okay? I'm not saying you two are going to run off and get married tomorrow. That's what I'm saying here is a healing effect over your heart space. where you expected nothing to touch you again in your heart, it looks like we have some at least healing in there and a sense of happiness. Okay? So I would already say you two jump back into it really quick, even though your words are being very careful but on point. I was like, that's different for you. There's that sense of working together here, common cause, productivity. I don't want you to think that that's a threat. It comes to find out you can still have feelings, and you can still have feelings for this person. It may not go in that direction, okay? There's no guarantee of anything. I honestly don't know what shape this will take. I just know that you two are very strong influence in each other's lives. Very. We have some very strong components here. And I can see where, again, it kind of tips your scales in terms of reignition and feeling the connection and the warmth and the strength of it. And there's that alive feeling that comes with it too. And you remember why you connected to it at all and how it used to affect your heart space. But you find the good in it too. So I don't really know why it shows up the way it does, like a boom. Okay. But your biggest thing was like, is this making me feel feelings? I'm not supposed to feel feelings. Why? It's just like, I don't want to say arrogance, but that's the word I'm trying to lean into. It's almost like arrogance on your part that you thought you couldn't generate any more activity in there. You were so convinced nothing could, I don't know, jump your heart like that to make it beat like that. I don't know. But, man, you must have really believed it. You must have really believed it. Let's see that Ace of Pentacles, please. I am very curious about that reality portion that you're closing down. Unproductive something. Unproductive. Let's see that Ace of Pentacles, please. Let's see that Ace of Pentacles for Scorpio. Okay. Probably spent too much time on that. I'm trying to understand it. I really am. Let's see the Ace of Pentacles, please. Ace of Swords. Yeah, the Ten of Pentacles. I see the world going back. I'm surprised how many people are tying their Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles together. I've seen that for many folks, including yourself. Whatever this is that you're cutting off, you're saying it's no good for your foundation. Strictly speaking, it's hugely unproductive. You're saying it's not giving, it's not providing, or frankly, it won't stabilize. Okay. So that's why you're closing it out. You're just like, you really honestly cannot see it adding too much more to your world. So you're being very careful then about the foundation. And there's something here that's just frankly non-productive. And it does involve your time, energy, effort, money. Okay. It's like you gave it as much of yourself as you could. You learned a lot from it, etc. Patience. Thank you so much. But we're going to go ahead and close this out. You're telling me it ain't worth it. Not once, but twice. Okay. All right. Page of Cups, Two of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. You're disappointed. You're disappointed, but being realistic. Okay. You're disappointed. You're walking away from it. You're walking away from this. You're like, this is no longer part of my gig. This is no longer part of my resources. This is not, don't credit me with this. This is not part of my career goals. This is not part of my stability. This is anti-stability, or frankly, it's not what you want. So you're showing me again, once more, the emptiness of the emotional investment, or the lack of emotional appeal for you to continue to invest in this. Whatever it is, you've been very, very distinct about it. You might be letting someone else take over this role, or I don't know what, but you're distinctly walking away from it because you're like, there's some point where you literally stop caring about it, honestly. Once more, taught you a lot. Patience above all. But you have to know when and where and how, like any other skill, what is worth your patience and what isn't, and this isn't, or no longer has proven to be worth your patience. Okay, time, energy, and effort specifically. Man, you're like, this is a non-renewed ace. Once more, you're not giving up the whole thing. You obviously have a primary source of stability, a primary source of income, something that gives you a sense of standing and individuation. You are now excluding this particular element from it. You say it has nowhere to go. Okay. All right. You were very clear about that. Very, very clear. Sorry about that. We are cutting late into the afternoon, but we're almost there. All right. Let's get some advice for you, please. Now, as I said, the Ace of Swords and Pentacle are clearly tied, and that, once more, non-negotiable. I insist for many of you, you have an exact date when you're walking away from this or cutting it out. Okay? This middle portion, this, gosh. Can we get some advice here, please? Let's get some advice. You know what reminds me of? Now, I was trying to get the language there. Princess Bride, classic, right? Classic. Princess Bride. Highly recommend it. I've seen it 1,000 times. It's just one of those movies that stays with you. It has so many good one-liners in there. But there's this one scene, it's largely a comedy, but there's this one scene where the main female actress, she has, very dramatically, she's sitting in her chair. At some point, she goes, "I'll never love again." And she means it. From her point of view, she means it. Right? Super intense. It's super deep feeling. I'll never love again. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting with your AC. I'm not saying it's full-on arrogant. What I am saying, it had a lot of assumption in there. It turns out someone here can still affect your heart space. It may not go into the direction of being renewed love, but I do know you feel a hell of a lot better about it. So, that's all I'm saying. That's for the words I was looking for. I'll never love again. It's kind of like that. And I know when we say that, we feel it and we believe it for a while too. But no. You know, it looks happy, healthy when it starts to heal. 10 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the 10 of Pentacles. Dang, yeah, keep going back to this. Keep going back to this. It frustrates you. It pisses you off. You're saying it's anti-stability. It taught you a lot, but thank you very much. It's still non-production is non-production. You can't keep making this work, and you can't afford to keep making this work. I agree. A lot of times they're saying it's just too much burden to carry. And what do I say about that 10 of Wands all the time? It's fine. Just know what it is you're carrying on your back, right? They need to be the burdens of your choice, especially when it comes to things like your career and your connections and your network and your connectivity. You have to know what's worth carrying. Not all of it's worth carrying. And I know you really wanted this to work out and grow and be fruitful, but it didn't. Okay? And that's okay. It's okay. You got to close that up, and you can move that energy onto the next endeavor that could prove to be something useful, right? Okay. The Chariot, moving it forward. Very good. The Hierophant. And the Magician. Now you're manifesting movement, direction. There it is again. 6 of Wands. 3 of Wands. A part of you has been reaching, I know this sounds so corny, I don't know how else to explain it, but part of you, in some way, if you were being honest with yourself, okay? Real talk. A part of you has been reaching outward over time, manifesting some sort of movement with whomever this is. There is a sense of accomplishment here in that goal of manifestation. Okay? Now, I do not like to discourage or encourage people in the wrong way. Manifestation is tricky, as a lot of people can really strongly distinguish between manifestation of, say, solid goals versus love. Manifesting from the heart has to be from the heart from good reasons, and someone has to want it back in order for the manifestation to take effect. So someone's showing up that tells me that you both want some movement and or closure over this. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. Okay? Manifestation is not about insisting from the universe about you get what you want. Proper manifestation is I manifest what's correct for me, not what's wrong for me. So in order to sync up with someone else, that means from their heart, it had to be right for them too. Okay? So in that respect, I am seeing someone here who represents a desire for you over a period of time to move forward with in some way. What I'm seeing here in the output is a sense of healing and maybe some feel-good energy in there. And nevertheless, when it shows up, it surprises you. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to manifesting. I was giving somebody else this lecture. When you're manifesting, you have to know it, okay? Because we're going to get that like, oh, I'm so surprised. No, you were manifesting it back there in your soul the whole time. The reason why we have to be aware of it is because I could just have easily seen you reject it. If we are not confrontational with our manifestation, what we really want, and then what we're allowing ourselves to believe, because there's a good shot that if this showed up, you would have rejected it anyway, because part of you still back in denialsville. I'm not trying to manifest that. I'm not trying to manifest that. I'm not trying to Part of you wanted resolution with this strong connection, this lover's thing. Okay. You wanted bare minimum to feel better about this connection in some way. Okay? Whether or not it leads to being in love again or stronger feelings, I don't know. But you wanted some sort of resolve in this, and it stretched out over time. Okay? We'll call it a happy resolve, if you will. All right? I do see someone outside of you, and in some way they were reaching back. Otherwise, I wouldn't be seeing them. Okay? But yes, part of you is going to be deeply satisfied with this. Okay. There you go. That's all I really got from it. I'll see if I can get some clarification on that time. For some of you, spring. I don't know. I really haven't seen any outstanding timing principles. Okay. Gotta wrap this one up. A generous offer. From the soulmate there. Reaching out back. There it is. Generous offer? I don't know. Maybe it is. I just know it shocks the hell out of you. Sometimes but it shouldn't, because you're fucking manifesting it too. So that's what I'm saying. Be aware of what you're asking for. And when it comes to matters of the heart, they have to want it too. Otherwise, there is no manifestation. Okay? It's not the same thing like manifesting a career or something like that. It's not the same thing when you're involving someone else's free will. Okay, here it is. And that generous offer might show up in the form of a page. Either way, it does its job. From the old soulmate here. No shit. There's 6 of Cups, the Lovers twice. Well, or something. I don't know. There's so much spirituality flying around between you and this person. It's not even funny. Awesome. For some of you, the Ace of Cups. This touches your heart for some of you, and awesome. We're about to exit autumn here in the Northern Hemisphere. So that means for some of you within a year. Okay? All right. Okay. No. That would explain why I can't immediately see it. Midnight, and for others of you, within 3 months. Okay? Everybody's time frame might be a little different here. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. Artichoke. We have the letter X. IASW. We have the yin yang harmonizing. I see that. We have the owl in reverse, something here we clearly cannot see. Lack of wisdom or insight on this one. I know that's a little delusion we were talking about over Ace of Cups. I'll leave it at that. I'm happy to say you were proven wrong. Your manifestation is also coming through. All right. We have the Medallion of Gemini in the reverse, the keyword here being intelligent. Okay, some of you are pretty smart cookies though. And also, you might have a very strong Gemini on your chart. The season might be important to you as well. Okay, Scorpio, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.